We all know Gandhiji. We all know he stood for non-violence. Does that mean he was afraid of conflict? Think about it. What did he do? He stood up for his beliefs. He stood up for what he authentically thought he should stand up for. Are you happy with you? Or are you worried about everyone else's happiness? Because if it's the second, then you probably abandoned yourself somewhere along the way. Hi, my name is Jay, and over the last 5 years, I've worked with hundreds of people, helping them with inner transformational mastery, meaning inner identity work. I meet a lot of people who fall in the trap of people pleasing. People pleasing isn't really about maintaining peace, because a lot of times when I ask my clients, what are you trying to achieve over here? I just want my peace. I don't want to be a bother to anybody. But in that process, somewhere they've abandoned themselves. There's somewhere they've fallen asleep to their own desires, what they truly want. These very same people, when I ask them, like, what do you want to do? They don't have an answer that they feel authentic about. They're okay with anything, as long as it maintains the peace. And so what I've realized is that people pleasing isn't about being kind. It's not about kindness. It's about self-abandonment. As long as your peace, your sense of feeling good depends upon the smile of other people, it's like you've taken the remote control of your life and you've handed over to them. Now, depending upon what mood they're in, what you do changes. So I've also noticed that when you're such a big seeker of peace in your life, what ends up happening is that you also become somebody who's averse to conflicts. Now, you don't like conflict in your life. When pleasing other people is the source of your peace, it's like, you've given the remote control of your own life to somebody else. Now, everything that you do, everything that you say, the things that you spend your precious time doing, it depends upon whether it makes somebody else happy or not, whether it's something that others are okay with or not. The thing is that people pleasing leads to avoiding conflict. And when you avoid conflict, you're also avoiding facing your own truth and being okay with it. It's like you start wearing a mask to avoid the conflict. And then very soon you wear it so often, you wear it all the time, all day, all morning, all evening, all night, that you start to forget who you are underneath. To the extent that sometimes you even forget that you might actually be going through some pain in your life. I know somebody, it's a family friend, and this person is like the peacemaker in his family. He's the one that everyone goes to whenever there's a conflict. He's the one that everyone goes to when people want something in their life. His wife, his daughter, his brothers, his sisters, they all go to him. And he's like the rock in the family. I very rarely see him talk about anything that's important to him, talk about anything that is about something that he wants or that he wants to do. He's okay with anything. A simple example: if someone were to come and ask him, his wife were to come and ask, "Hey, let's go out for dinner." Even if he doesn't feel like it, he'd be like, "Okay, let's go. Where do you want to go?" Then the wife will say, "Oh, I want to go for Chinese." This guy hates Chinese food. Okay, let's go for Chinese. No, let's go for Italian. Okay, let's go for Italian. It's this avoidance of conflict. And even in the smallest decisions in our lives, this pattern repeats where we want to avoid that conflict at any costs. So as long as you are pleasing other people, trying to keep them comfortable at any cost, there's no way that you can be comfortable yourself. You'll always be uncomfortable. And the pattern that I've seen in many peacemakers is that they will then disconnect with themselves because it's so painful that they become numb to their own wants, their own needs, their own desires. And this is a real pattern. If you want to know, by the way, whether this is a pattern, if this is sounding something that is resonating with you, and you want to know if this is your pattern, if you are a peacemaker, there's a personality assessment below in the description. Go click on it right now and take the test. Because chances are that if you're somebody that's feeling this inner tension, where you kind of feel like your your life is in autopilot mode, that everybody else is making decisions for you, that you feel very dissatisfied with the current state in your life, whether it's your finances, whether it's your relationships, whether it's some other aspect of your life, you find it really, really difficult to break out of it, you feel stuck, chances are that you could be stuck in this peacemaker pattern. Because the truth is that people pleasing is not true love. All it is that it's fear disguised as love. Back when I was 18 years old, I had a very big decision to make in my life. I was deciding whether I wanted to stay at home and go to college locally, or whether I wanted to go abroad and study. And I really, really, really wanted to go abroad. I really, really wanted to go to this university and study psychology, and I didn't do it. The reason I didn't do it, what I told myself then, is because my family needs me. I need to sacrifice what I truly want for my family. Funny thing is that I started working, I went on this path where I completed my education while I was working, and I did what I thought was right for my family. But that was not really what happened. Because when you're dissatisfied with your own life, when you're unhappy, there's no way that you're not going to affect the people around you. It's going to leak out in one way or the other. It could be anger, it could be confusion, it could be, maybe you're just on a path where you're not even earning as much as you could earn, or you're just pissed off all the time, or you're just disconnected and unaffected all the time. You just can't connect with people. And it's this disconnection that we truly fear. So when you start people pleasing, I realized that by trying to make my family happy, by doing what I thought was right for them, making choices for myself that I thought would create the most happiness in their life, I actually disconnected myself from my family. Because somewhere deep down, I started resenting them. Somewhere deep down, there was this anger that I've fallen asleep to. And after many, many years of following this path, that anger would come out, and my family would get the worst of it. And it would make me feel so guilty, because I am not that person. I'm not that person. And so people pleasing and avoiding conflict is really about avoiding disconnection. It's the fear of disconnection from people, from our loved ones, from our family members. But what do you think you really need to do if you want to create true connection in your life? What do you think? Which person do you want to hang out with more? The person who fakes a smile just so that you can be happy? And he's faking it, right? You can tell. That's exactly what people feel when you go overboard trying to please them. They feel that disconnection. They feel that it's not the real you. And you feel it too. Sometimes in life, if you want to get what you truly want, if you want to show up in your full authenticity, you want to say, find the right dynamic in your family, create real peace in your life. I mean, let's just take an example of one of our forefathers. We all know Gandhiji. We all know he stood for non-violence. Does that mean he was afraid of conflict? Think about it. What did he do? He stood up for his beliefs. He stood up for what he authentically thought he should stand up for. He was not afraid of conflict. He was not out there to please the British. I know it's a bit of an extreme example, but I think it's such a fantastic example. He stood for non-violence, but at the same time, he embraced conflict. And what happened as a result? Our country got their freedom from the British. We aren't completely peaceful, I give you that. But we won that conflict. And that's what actually led to peace. Showing up and standing up for yourself, standing up for what you believe in, without trying to please everyone, sure, it's going to create some conflict in your life. But you need to get through that conflict if you truly want to find real peace within. And that is your hero's journey for inner transformation. So if you are somebody that is feeling this urge to people please all the time, and you've realized you've seen that pattern in yourself, but you can't seem to stop it, and you want to overcome it, click on the link in the description. Take the assessment. It's going to show you patterns that are affecting your life in a way that you cannot even imagine. And it will also show you what you need to do in order to gather that courage so that you can move forward, stop people pleasing all the time, and create real transformation inside out. Because when the transformation is internal at an identity level, it creates a huge outer level transformation, not just with your career, but also your relationships, also with your health. And this, I believe, is a journey, a hero's journey that every person goes on. Now, whether you decide to go through it or not, that's a choice that you have to make. Don't be a people pleaser. Don't shrink yourself just to fit in the mold for somebody else. Because it's time for you to work on your relationship with yourself. It's time for you to come home. It's time for you to be whole and feel true peace. Thank you very much. If you like this video, like, subscribe, comment. I want to hear from you, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.